Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting chapter in the saga of C-Block. It's Factorio. This is our to-do list. It is shrinking rapidly. We've got left to do for our metal megaplex, our iron butterfly, which kind of looking a little bit like a rib cage. Maybe we'll make a giant skull. I did make a dinosaur at the beginning of the series for like 5 seconds. So maybe this is the head up here. This is the rib cage. And the body where we make all the stuff will be down there. It'll be like a digestive system for all the food it eats. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's not get distracted, though. This is our to-do list of the metals we have to make for the science for the rest of the game. The rest of the game, at least for the science. Not necessarily for all the other items we will need. I have updated my spreadsheets, so now this is I don't think I've looked at this for a few episodes. This is where we're headed. We want to be able to research this guy, which is going to take a lot of science and all the different science packs, 1,000 of them. And then after that, we'll be doing all of this faster-than-light spaceship stuff. And it'll take a while to get there. But the end goal is to research this. And so I've updated my spreadsheets, so now we're ready to research the rocket science. I've included that in all of my stuff, all of my additions, so I know how much metal we need for that. And so this is going to be the different types of metals we need. We're going to need gold and silver, which we're about to do. And then after that, titanium. And over there is, let's see, nitinol is here. Cobalt steel is over there. And then tungsten is the last one. But basically, there's one last hurdle of complexity for us to jump over. We started sorting for specific ore types to get exactly the metals we wanted and smelt them up. And the first 4 are pretty simple because you just need to crystallize up the ores and then crush them, which is no big deal. And after that, the next 4 get a little bit more complicated. You need to take those crushed ores and you need to put them in a flotation cell, which gives you some byproducts here, which we've mostly just been voiding, the wastewater and the geodes, which we'll do something with later. So we got through those, the ones we need for science. Now we're on to the next set, which are going to take crystals. And that means we need to send the chunks into a leaching plant. And in addition to all the other stuff we already needed, we're going to need some acids. Some of the acids are super duper easy because we've already provided for them on the belt. So ferric acid for steratite, sapphirite, and bobmonium. So that part's super simple, but then we've got a few others. For crotinium here, we've got hydrochloric. And then for this is the givelite, we've got hydrofluoric. And then for the rubite, we've got nitric. And so, tell you what, it's getting dark here. I don't have lights here. There's no power down this part of the base. Let's come up here to where I have constructed some things for the next phase, TM. We're going to make gold and silver, and then we're gonna make some blueprints to basically duplicate what we've done. And I already have some blueprints to help us out. Let me see. There's not really many lights here, is there? Let me just put down some lights as I show off some blueprints. So I made little one-offs for the hydrochloric and the nitric acids. Let me just plop it down. We'll go over the process. Put this one down there, I guess, if it fits. Okay, so these guys are actually fairly simple, not too bad. This is hydrochloric. This is what we need for one of those crystal types. We get that from hydrogen chloride and purified water. Purified water we've been getting from the hydro plant forever. And then the hydrogen chloride gas we get from combining chlorine and hydrogen, which is very simple because we get that from separating seawater, saline water, into its component parts. We get a little bit extra. Hydrogen. We're getting 40 chlorine and 60 hydrogen, and this is needed in equal parts. So we're going to void off the extra hydrogen. We're getting saline here. We do have a byproduct here of sodium hydroxide, which there's no good way to get rid of. We can't turn it into a liquid, as far as I can figure out. Not a simple way, anyway. I can't turn it into a gas, so we can't just void it off. And I don't really need it in huge numbers like I'm going to need gold and silver and all the other metals. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to run it down a belt. We're going to collect it with 1 or 2 other similar items. And occasionally, we're going to store that stuff in a massive warehouse, which is going to hold a bazillion items. every once in a while, when it starts to get full, I'm going to walk up and shotgun it until it blows up, which will take maybe like 10 seconds every 15 hours, or who knows, something like that. So it's a little bit less automated, but I don't know what else to do with the stuff because we've got this byproduct. We got to put it somewhere. Okay, the other one is nitric acid, which you get from combining purified water. I guess all these acids are combined with purified water from a dioxide gas. So we've got a dioxide gas, which is nitrogen monoxide and oxygen. Oxygen we can get from the electrolyzer. Then this guy is a combination of ammonia and oxygen. Basically, I'm just playing match the symbols and make a small little layout. If I ever needed to scale this up, well, I guess in the future we might need a whole big area somewhere else and just bring them in a barrel form. And so I would completely redesign it. So I made it quite compact. But we're getting the ammonia from ammonia synthesis, which I think we used before for one of the other sciences. And that's from hydrogen and nitrogen, just some base simple stuff to get that we've been using the whole time. For this guy, we will need a few catalysts. So we will need a way to get iron ore, copper ore, aluminium ore, and silver ore. For now, we're just going to steal that ore from our other processes. I will eventually make a dedicated way to produce just the ores. But that covers 3 of the 4. We've got the hydrochloric, the nitric, and the sulfuric acid. The 4th one is the givolite one, which needs hydrofluoric acid. For that, we need fluoride, whatever. And we could get part of it from this, and I guess maybe we will. This is fluoric wastewater coming from the givolite refining, the hydro refining. But unfortunately, this is only going to provide about half of what we need. These 3 guys will provide about half what these 3 need. And similarly down there, we do have 6 more of those guys. And I could use them. I thought about using them. Right here, we've got 3 here and 3 here. That is making the zinc, I guess, for the brass. The only problem is these guys are only going to be producing the wastewater we need down below. If both belts are going nonstop at the same time, that's not always going to be the case. What if we need gold, but our brass is backed up? Then we won't be able to produce any gold at all, or silver, actually. Silver needs this. And so what I've done is I created a little sub-area specifically to sort for fluorite ore. It just takes stereotype and rubite chunks. And actually, I probably will just, because this is already way more than I need for this guy, I'm probably just going to void out this fluoric wastewater just to simplify things. Keep it as simple as possible. This mod pack is already complicated enough. So for this, we need stereotype, rubite, like I said, mineral catalyst. That gets us the fluoride ore. And then we're going to have another byproduct, some kind of salt, whatever. I can't see what it says because it doesn't tell me. But we're going to take the fluoride ore, combine it with sulfuric acid, and that's going to get us the hydrofluoric acid. So we'll have to use some of our sulfuric acid on the belt there. Going to have to insert a barreling machine there. Okay, so that's the complexity, and I think it's mostly taken care of. We're going to plug in the gold and the silver, figure out the layout, and make sure it works, and then we can duplicate what we've got over to the other guys. And we're going to do a similar thing that we did here, I think, to weave the belts, unless we don't need to. So we will need these guys doing this, and maybe we'll rotate this, maybe we won't. I'm going to play with the layouts. But we'll need at least one belt going through here with the chunks. So whatever, something like that. And we'll need another belt carrying the output of the crystals. So that would be something like that. And then that will go to our sorting facility to get us, in this case, the gold ore. And then after that, of course, we'll need blast furnaces and whatnot, or chemical furnaces. Okay, well, as far as I can tell, I've set up all the stuff we need to turn on the gold and the silver. So let's see where I screwed up, and let's do it one thing at a time. First thing we'll need to start the chain of events is to give this guy catalysts to start sorting for fluorite ore. That's going to get combined with sulfuric acid to make hydrofluoric acid. It's one of the 4 that we need that we talked about before. We're also getting this stuff, calcium sulfate. This is going to go in our salt jar, I guess, somewhere. There's nothing I can do about this, and I do need this stuff eventually for like little odds and ends, but not at the rate we're probably going to be making it. So we're just going to make a salt jar somewhere. We're going to blow the sucker up with all the other salts. So I guess we'll just start one thing at a time. Let's plug in all of the mineral sludge. This is as far as the complexity is going to go. Of course, all of the different metals require something slightly different. So hooking them all up will be slightly different. But as far as the leaching plants and the acid, that's as far as the complexity is going to go for this system. Because the only other thing to add is for tungsten, which we add, I think I already showed this at least a couple times, these ore refineries, which don't have any additional chemicals or inputs. You just put the crystals in and you get the, whatever that is, the refined what's-its. All right, let's continue plugging in things and see where I've crossed the wires or the pipes. You and you. Each of these guys is using 3 pairs because we're sorting for 3 different things. Or two pairs of 3, I guess, but this section of the production centers is in pairs of 2. So we've just adapted that. The belts have gotten a little bit wonky. Every time we add complexity, we've got to sort of jog over things that we need for, like, the blast furnaces need carbon, and the ore sorting facilities need these things. Eventually, I might be able to simplify this after everything's down and on the ground. Okay, so let's just run down the line and see what's going on here. Oh, we need the acids. You should be outputting. No, you're not. Okay, what's going on here? You have not enough of that. Are we struggling to make... Because I turned on... No, it looks like the belts are full. Okay, belts are full. Oh, okay, it's because I turned on everything at once. It's this crushed stone problem. The belt of crushed stone is full. And that's something I'm going to try to solve after we have all the metals down, is we will do something about this crushed stone. Because obviously we can't do anything with the belt constantly being full of crushed stone. Yeah, okay, so it's operating fine. It's just needs to get rid of the stone. Maybe we'll give that a second to work. Okay, now we've got some of these guys getting made. I just want to make sure that everything works. I suppose what we could do while we wait for that to sort out is we could turn on the other acids and make sure they're working. So we got sulfuric acid and the hydrofluoric acid. Now we need hydrochloric with the C and nitric. So we may as well turn those on. This guy is going to be outputting sodium hydroxide. That's one of the other salts we're going to destroy somewhere else. For now, it's just going in a chest, but later on we will give it a home closer to our main base after we have all the metal stuff done. Okay, that's you. In fact, let's turn this guy on as well. We need for... Let's see, boop. For the blast furnaces for gold, you need some chlorine gas, so we're making a little bit of extra here. Also making the salty stuff. This is a salination plant making salt water. This guy's making purified water and salt water. We will eventually bleed off the extra. This guy is turning that salt water into the salt, the chlorine, and the hydrogen, and we're turning those guys into hydrogen chlorine gas. That's getting turned with water into hydrochloric acid. And belt... Oh, I had to shift it up so the belt's not there. Okay, that's an issue. I can do this and it won't interfere, right? Boom. Okay, there's that. There is one of the acids. Bam. Okay, so you've got acid. Let's turn on the nitric, and then we've got a second hydrochloric guy. The nitric guy needs these catalyst frames, so we've got those guys in there. We'll have to start delivering ores somehow. Haven't really decided how we're doing that. It's possible we use logistics robots for that. They're pretty slow at the moment until we've done quite a bit more research and launched a bunch of rockets and stuff. But for something like this, where they don't need the things in high numbers, we might be able to do that, or we just run a belt. Haven't decided. We'll probably make some kind of dedicated ore producing area just to make the ores for these guys. Maybe for the whole base. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But this is making nitric acid, obviously, from nitrogen dioxide gas, purified water like we described earlier. Seems to be working. The pipe is filling up, so we'll just continue turning stuff on. Then we'll check to see if everything is caught up in the system with the crushed stone. Let's see, what do we need next? We need one of these things to turn this guy on. This is the other hydrochloric guy. Boop, boop. Salt water, sodium, and chlorine, and hydrogen. Then hydrogen chloride gas, and then hydrochloric acid. This pipe is going down through here. Also had to provide purified water for all the different flotation cells all over there. So that's what these guys are doing. Okay, we've got at least one of these guys operating. This is the bobmonium crystals. And then we've got the white crystals. Oh, things are happening. Things are happening. Look at this. We are sorting for silver ore. Silver and gold. Isn't that, this is like a Christmas song, isn't it? Silver and gold. It's kind of appropriate. Okay, we're still missing the light blue. You've got sulfuric acid. Let's see what's going on with you if we run over here. We are missing light blue. We are not getting crushed steatite down here. And why is it? Is it just because the stone is so backed up? Yes, this is definitely something we will need to do. Let's just look at crushed stone. Crushed stone. No, that's cruthenium. They look exactly the same. Crushed stone. What can we do with crushed stone? If we right-click it... Yeah, this is probably what we'll end up doing, is just turn it into mineralized water and void it. And to do that, we might run... I guess we have little spaces here where we could add a little mechanism for that. We'll need a liquefier and a clarifying pool and also a little pump to pump up some water for that. Is there a simpler way to do it? I have been changing it into landfill. We can turn it into normal stone. But really, we just want it out of our system. We could have turned it back into slag slurry, but that would take more sulfuric acid. That's more trouble than it's worth when our system already supports itself as far as that is concerned. Yep, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to adapt something for all of those. Similar to how I isolated all of our assembly machines, making the filter frames for these guys in groups of 10 instead of one huge long belt. And we're going to have probably run a belt of stone down this middle section here, and then have a liquefier, clarifier, water pump combo, because that does seem to be an issue. Once we turn these guys on, they should. I want them to be working full steam all the time. If I just stand here, we want to test the thing. I can just stand here and pick up the crushed stone for a minute. Okay, now that's working. Okay, good. And then we also want it to be working over here so we can check out the whole thing. This guy is unbarreling our sulfuric acid. Okay, that's probably good enough for now. Just want to make sure that things are working all the way down the line. This guy should be getting some chunks in just a moment. There they go. Lovely. Okay, the chunks, or the crystals are coming out. Chunks turned into crystals, come down the belts. Collected here. And we are filtering out the geodes at the end of each line, right? Is this still working properly? Because I did change the belt. Oh, no, that's getting filtered out here. Okay, it's getting confusing. Yeah, but we got the red, white, and the blue. And then red, white, and blue again. At least some of it's working. It's not working full stop because of the crushed stone issue. But I just want to make sure that each step is operational, so to speak. Silver seems like less of an issue because I guess it's further down the line, so the crushed stone is less dense there. Okay, do we have plates? Oh, looks like we have plates. Silver looks like it has completely backed up the belt. Good. The silver is a little bit simpler, I guess just because it doesn't require the chlorine. And I did leave a silly amount of ores here. One of these ores each will make 10 metal catalysts, and I think one of those catalysts will last a while. I don't have the actual figures in front of me. The gold seems to have worked, though. It's just a little bit slow because of the crushed stone issue. All right, here's how we're going to take care of it. Instead of having one huge long belt, we're going to break it up into a smaller contained system like we do with the filter frames here, where they just have to rely on this one machine and the belt is much shorter. Let's see, what do we need? We need a pump. Plug in the water, fill in the landfill. Okay, and that should take care of that guy. And I just need to duplicate this to the other systems, or, you know, every one of these units. We will add another one. The belt, I think, is fine for now, and as we upgrade everything else, we can upgrade this belt. So I think that problem should be taken care of. We should be producing... Let's actually zoom in with the radar vision. Yes, okay, look at that. We have gold being produced. We still have it a bit slow here because I haven't gotten... Look at the place where it's slow is the place where I haven't updated to the new system. So that is, I guess that's a good sign. Well, the gold line is backed up, silver line is backed up, all of the different lines with the different chunks and crystals, all that kind of stuff's backed up. After separating out the belts with the crushed stone, that seemed to help out, and we can watch it live, up to date, because in the meantime, I've also set up the cobalt steel. So here we're going to have like a big section here making steel ingots, another one making steel ingots, and then they got to go down here and make friends with the guy making cobalt ingots. The steel ingot guys, exactly the same as the ones we set up before for our previous steel alloy, I guess. Although steel technically is already an alloy, but the nitinol, no, this is not nitinol. This is Invar. Okay, so we did Invar, and this is similar, but instead of using whatever this is it tin? Kind of looks like, no, if it's got this, it must be zinc, right? Whatever it's got, whatever Invar's got, we're about to make a cobalt steel version. So let's plug it in and make sure everything works. That's not even remotely correct. Okay, there we go. Plug in these guys just like always. And did I set up these things correctly? They look to be set up correctly. Got the crushed stone separated out. I think everything else is basically already ready because I turned on the steel stuff. That seems to be working. Eventually, we'll have to do stuff like utilize both sides of the belt and maybe underground belts here to allow them to output faster, or just upgrade the belt to a faster belt. That could also work. Okay, and now we are getting our crushed stuff. We are outputting things. That's great. Good. Okay, good. Good. This is going here, turning into crystals. We've got the sulfuric acid for this guy. Then the red one is using nitric acid, similar. I just plopped down another one of these modules that we used before. We're going to plop this down every time we need it, and then eventually we'll figure out a way to supply it with the metals for the catalyst frames. This guy is using sulfuric acid, so this one's pretty simple. And then this last line we're not using because we only needed a bit of the cobalt, or it appears to be operational. Yep. Lovely. Okay, that is being turned into processed cobalt. That's being turned with limestone into cobalt oxide. That's put into the blast furnace with some carbon to be changed into cobalt ingots. That gets combined here into molten cobalt steel, and then obviously it's working because the belt's full. Yep, cobalt steel plate down there, and so we can update our to-do list, and our to-do list is getting quite skimpy. All we have left to do are titanium, a titanium alloy, which is called nitinol, which is titanium with something, zinc or something like that, and then tungsten. And that is it. We will need like 1 or 2 metals in smaller quantities for other things besides science. Like I know we want, I think it's zinc plate for a certain battery, or maybe it's a cobalt plate. We may need plates here and there, but they're not going to be needed in nearly as large numbers. This is titanium. We'll do him, I guess, next time. And then this section here, this is titanium and nickel. Oh, nickel. Okay. So the nitinol is titanium and nickel. I guess that's why it's got the N in the front. Ni for nickel, and then titanium stuff, whatever. I'm sure it's some sort of combination of the words titanium and nickel. And we can get rid of gold and silver from our to-do list. Our to-do list is almost gone. And let's see, how much space do we have over on the right? We've got space for probably titanium. And then after that, we're going to have to expand to the south a little bit. I think we're going to try to keep it as symmetrical as possible. So we might put this guy over on the left and this guy on the right. We'll just see how it works out with the space requirements. But our I guess our scarf of many colors, it grows. It grows. Okay, so this is the size it is at the moment, and it's almost done. We've only got 2 more things to put on it. Oh man, I'm so excited. I've been working on this metal producing area for so long. And this is such a huge, bulky part of the base. After this, I can't wait because things are going to go a little bit faster. We've got... what do we got? We've got... This is cobalt steel. This is Invar. This is aluminum plate. This is silicon plate, glass, solder coil. This is lead, tin, steel, iron, copper. This is tin copper wire coils. There's 2 lines of brass, 1 of gold, 1 of silver, and then next time we will do boop and boop, and also what? Yeah, something like that. Then we'll be done. But that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. See you later. Take it easy. Have a good day, and bye-bye.